Chicken Dopiaza is one of the most popular curries found on takeaway menus across the country. And for good reason, it's an absolute belter of a curry. Dopiaza literally translates to double onions because they're used twice in separate ways in the recipe that results in a unique layered depth of flavour which is quite simply delicious. Hey, I'm nutritionist Scott Baptiste and welcome back to my Food for Fitness kitchen. Before we go any further, I've got a confession to make. This is actually my second attempt at Dopiaza because way back when I started coming up with recipes about 8 years ago, I wrote a recipe for Chicken Dopiaza, but I only cooked the onions once, which means it wasn't a Dopiaza at all. But I've seen the light and corrected the error, and this is the second attempt, and this one is much tastier. It's got lean, protein-packed chicken, fragrant spices, onions cooked 2 ways, and it is an absolute delicious recipe, just smothered in a rich, thick sauce. Sounds good? This is how you do it. So because we're cooking the onions in 2 different ways, we actually need to slice them in slightly different ways. The first one we are going to chop as finely as we can go, and that is going to go into the sauce and help form the base of the sauce. And the second we are going to chop into large chunks because we want to give that a bit of bite, and we're going to cook that for less time so it adds some crunch to the recipe. You're also going to chop up a red pepper and a green pepper about the same size as you have done for the chunky bits of onion. Once you've chopped everything up, you want to heat a large pan or a wok if your wok has a lid, because you need a lid for this recipe, on as high heat as you can go with a little bit of oil, and we're going to char fry these veggies. We still want them to stay crunchy. We just want to cook them enough so they start to blacken up a little bit and the skin on the peppers start to blister. So once you've fried them for a couple of minutes, just remove and set aside, and then add your chicken to the pan, season with a little bit of black pepper. And we're going to cook this chicken until it's about 80% cooked through. So there's no longer any pink bits on the outside, but it's starting to get some nice color. And the finishing part of the cooking will happen when we make the sauce. At this point in the video, it'd be great if you could hit that like button. It really does help me out with the channel. And yeah, I will super appreciate it. So once the chicken is cooked, or pretty much cooked, remove again and set that aside, and then reduce your heat to more of a medium temperature and add the finely chopped onion. And you want to cook that for about 5 minutes or so until it starts to soften up and turn golden brown. We don't want this one to be crunchy, you want it to be nice and soft. Then you're going to add equal measures of garlic and ginger. As always, I'm using an all-in-one paste, and I'll put a link to it in the description. So fry that for about 30 seconds or so, and then we're going to add the spices. Now, I'm using an all-in-one curry powder. Some people go, oh yeah, it's hardly authentic, blah, blah, blah. But if you ever go to an Indian takeaway restaurant, they always use an all-in-one powder. It's often called a mixed powder, and that helps just get consistency with the recipes. Fry those spices off for a further 30 seconds, and then add your chopped tomatoes along with Worcester sauce. Again, people are saying, oh, it's not authentic, but again, it's used frequently in curry takeaways. And then add some mango chutney for sweetness. If you don't have mango chutney, you could use honey or sugar. Stir all that through so it is nicely combined. And then you're going to add the chicken and the pepper and the chunky onion back into the mixture. Make sure all of that is nicely combined. At this point as well, you may want to add a little bit of salt if your curry powder doesn't have a lot of salt in it, but most all-in-one curry powders will have salt as one of the main ingredients, so you probably don't need to add any extra, but again, it's up to you. So once you've mixed that through, keeping the heat on a medium to high heat, cover it and simmer for about 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, remove the lid and add a large handful of fresh coriander. Mix all of that through, and again, you want to simmer this for a few more minutes until the sauce has reached your desired thickness. For me, that's about 3 to 5 minutes. And then all I'm going to do is start to plate this up and garnish with yet more coriander. And that is how you cook Dopiaza. So that is how you cook Chicken Dopiaza, which is one less curry that you'll need to order a takeaway for. But I'm interested to know, what is your favorite curry? Leave a comment below and I will try and do a recipe for it if I've not already done so, or I'll be able to direct you to a video if I've already made it before. So yeah, leave a comment below. Let me know what your favorite curry is. I'm off to go and eat this Dopiaza. Thanks again for watching, and I'll speak to you later.